from Cappa by Manfred Sommer, and well, this is Spanish edition, tiny, a really tiny, like omnibus complete edition. And what's this comic about? It is a war comic. In a way, it's not like the American war comics. It's more like the adventure kind of comics. We have a lot of short stories, and in all of them we have Frank Cappa, who is a war journalist, basically. It's that. We have an introduction by Alejandro Jodorowsky, and Manfred Sommer is Spanish artist, work doing paintings a lot of time, and in the 80s he came back to comics to do this Frank Cappa. It was serialized on Simok magazine, and that's it basically. So what we have here is a lot of stories. Some of them make you think about life on some topics. You know, for example, the first 3 stories are about Africa. This one is about, you know, like blacks, you know, like they were some of them just want nothing to do with the war that the Europeans bring, and some of them are all in for that. They even dress like white men, and that's what this character says. And the stories doesn't really have a happy endings. Another one in Africa about the mercenary and how he ends up, and the last one is pretty long and has a lot of to dig in to talk about it, and really good story. Then we have, for example, Frank Cappa in Brazil. And here we have 3 other stories, and they are in color. And the color, at least I find that color goes really well with the kind of style that Manfred Sommer uses. Complements really well. We have some stories that have magical elements. For example, on this one, some surrealism. Carnival. We have this girl on rice to commit suicide. And Frank saves her in a way. Then they fall in love, and in the end we find out why she wanted to kill herself. And in The Hunt, have a story about manhunting, basically. The difference between savages and the not savages. It is also a cool little story. On Welcome, we have the origin of Frank Cappa. We find out about his parents. They are black. The story of his great grandfathers. Then we have another story, that's Goodbye. It's set on his town, and it's about it's basically like a crime story. And here Frank finds himself really lonely because his city is not his city anymore. These people is not like they are not the same anymore. You have another one, a really short story about child prostitution. So that's it. Then we have a long story set in Nicaragua on the 79. We have a change in the paneling. It is also really good. And we have another color story in Nicaragua. Now he has a partner, a woman. And that one has a happy ending. And then we have the Vietnam stories. Story about how Frank early days on being a journalist and all the stuff he had to suppress. And then we have a story about escape. Basically, he's a prisoner with another guy, and they have to escape. Really cool little story. Colors. And then we have this Afghanistan story that's unfinished and was never published. And now it is here in the script. And in the end, we have a story without any dialogue about the Spanish Civil War. That's it. I wasn't expecting much, but it really made me raise some questions. So I would recommend it at least one read. Because again, it is a really good adventure war comic.